Cristiano, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good to see you.
All good?
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
All good?
All perfect.
You taller than me?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you may be.
You're 6'.
Disappointing. 6'1". What are you?
6'2".
Yeah, it's annoying. Already you have me. What do you hope to achieve from this interview?
Good question. To speak about myself. You know, I'm not gonna hiding nothing. I'm not pretend to be another person.
You're a brilliant footballer. You're obviously very famous. But if Instagram is the currency of fame, you're number one by miles. You have 182 million followers. Ariana Grande is second with 164 million. Lionel Messi only has 130 million. David Beckham only has 58 million. You're 3 times as big as David Beckham. When you hear that, it's gonna feel weird, isn't it?
To be honest, for me, don't surprise me. I know what I am. All my life, what I did and what I do, it's because I have passion. For example, 75% of my life is football. The rest is, you know, my family and friends. And
You like being number one, don't you, Cristiano?
Yes, of course.
I mean, you don't want to be number 2, do you? If I sat here
But
if I said to you, you're the second most followed person on
On Instagram, if I will be the 3rd or 4th, for me, it doesn't matter. In my job, yes. In my job, yes. I want to be the number 1.
Fame is a very double-edged sword, isn't it? You know, I know that part of you, I can tell, loves the attention, the adulation, the fame. Being Cristiano Ronaldo must be, for a lot of the time, incredible. But there must be a lot of times as well when it's completely suffocating. You know, you can't really go out in Turin because the moment you do, there are thousands of people. What's it like, the reality of being you, good and bad?
Piers, to be honest, it's boring. You have a part that it's fantastic, that you're famous, you are a fantastic player, you win trophies, you score goals, you are on the first page of the paper and television. But after 10 years, you know, you look the life in a different way. You have girlfriend, you have kids, you want some privacy. The last 10 years, my privacy is gone. I'm not gonna cry, but if you ask me, I'm 1.5 years here. You know how many times I'll go to the parking with my kids? You know?
Tell me.
0.
Not once?
Not once.
Because you can't?
If I go, it will come like 20 people. The kids will be like nervous. I will be nervous. My girlfriend will be nervous. And when you are at public places, it's hard. You know, you have to maintain a little bit posture. If you put the finger in the nose, they're gonna take pictures. You cannot be yourself, which is boring, you know. But what I'm gonna do is, it's too late to change, and you have to adapt what you are.
How many people in the world do you completely trust? Completely?
Completely, 100%.
100%.
I'm not gonna say names because I think it's not fair. But I will say 4%.
4?
Yes. 100% trust, 4%.
Wow.
I have a very close friends, family, but who I trust 100%, maybe 4%. 100%.
Do you think what makes you different to the others, to the next rung on the ladder, if you like, of very good players, is the dedication level that you put in?
I think I'm good, but I think my main strength, it's my mind. I think it's my strongest point, it's my mind. Piers, the numbers, they don't lie. If you see during the last 15 years, my level is always kind of the same. So effort, dedication, work hard, because the talent is not enough anymore. And if you're not dedicated 100%, you're not gonna reach the level that you want. For example, you arrive home, you had a lunch, you do it a quick nap, and you wake up, you play with your kids, blah, blah, and I have to go to the gym at least 30, 40 minutes, but this will make the difference in the end of the day, you understand? If you not do it that work, you miss one. The next day, it's 2 sessions that you lost. And I know in the end of the day, in the hand, they're gonna make a huge difference. This is why I'm 34, and I look 28.
Yeah, I'm 54 and I look 67.
You know, this generation, for kids, you know what I'm talking about. They have everything easy. They have computers. They have good food on the table. They not sacrifice a lot to get what they want. I want to give the best. I want him to suffer a little bit to reach what he wants to be.
To have the hunger that you had.
I think will be the most difficult part.
You took him back to one of your first apartments, and very interesting, where
The residence where
Yeah.
I used to live, yes.
with your friend, and you took him back there, and it was to teach him really about where you had come from. You hadn't always had all this stuff.
I remember I was in Lisbon, very normal residence. I can say a poor residence. And I took him to the residence, to the room that I used to live. The same persons was there to working there in the building. Incredible. And I see the ladies, and they start to cry when they see me. And I took Cristiano to the room, and I say, Cristiano, look, the daddy used to live here. And he look at me, you joke, no? And I say, yeah, no, daddy don't joke, I live here. And he didn't believe. He didn't believe because what he see now, he don't imagine what we sacrificed, the hardest time that we had. He don't believe. So it's hard, but I think I'm gonna be. I know how to do it, to motivate him, to push him. But we'll be here. The difference will be here. I hope. I just pray that I want the mini Cristiano to be like me. But no panic, no problems. You're gonna be whatever you want. I'm not gonna make a pressure, just a little bit.
Of all the goals you've scored, I won't ask you to name the favourite. I'll tell you which my favourite is, for a number of reasons. It's the one you scored against Juve for Real Madrid.
Mine as well.
It's your favourite?
Yes.
We've got it here. And what it meant so much to me, A, the technique of the goal is spectacular.
Crazy goal.
Secondly, it's against Juve, and the crowd reacted by giving you a standing ovation. And you went up to them and you beat your chest. And then here you are now playing for Juve. And I think it was all to do with that goal and that moment. Because
Helps.
to see an opposition crowd responding to your genius in that way, it moved me, and I'm not you, but it moved me watching that.
Helps a lot. Trust me. Helps a lot. By far the best goal I scored in my career.
Technically, from your point of view.
Technically, the very difficult to do that.
And then Ronaldo!
Your father, Dennis, he died of alcoholism, really. The more I dug into his story, the more empathetic I got to him, in the sense that he had gone as a very young man to war for Portugal in Mozambique and Angola. And the experience had a bad effect on him, like it did on many young Portuguese men. When you learned more about what your father had to go through, did you have more understanding then of why he became the man he did?
Peace, I don't know. When I speak about my father, I feel sometimes no words to explain what it was my father.
We found something which I don't think you will have seen. It was an interview on Norwegian television where they just turned up at his house, a house I think that you'd bought him. 2004, the year before he died, and just before the big Euro final. And they just talked to him on the doorstep. And if you don't mind, I'd like to just play you the clip, because I think you'll find it very interesting.
Og en stolt far ser at sønnen nå Portugals egen askeland.
Família e populares e amigos e coisa tudo é fantástico. Fico muito orgulhoso de ver o filho daquelas condições.
Dette huset i Madeiras hovedstad Funchal.
Vou agora para ir lá a Lisboa ver a final, mas não vou, porque os nervos são tão grandes que não dá capacidade para não fico muito atacado. Não. É melhor ver na televisão. Tá 5 estrelas.
Very emotional for you.
I never saw the video. Dá papel, filho. I never saw that video. Unbelievable.
To hear your father speak about how proud he was of you, it must mean a lot to you.
Yes, a lot. I think the interview will be funny, but I didn't expect to cry. But I never saw these images. I don't know where you... I have to have these images to show my family. But I really don't know my father 100%. He was a drunk person. I never spoke with him like a normal conversation. It was hard.
Did he ever tell you that he was proud of you to your face?
No, yes. He said that he treated me unbelievable. I was like the diamond of the family. And he knew it. He knew it that I will be a football player. And for me, it's made me sad because everything... Sorry.
What's the sadness for you?
To be the number one, and I don't see nothing, I don't see to receive awards, to see what I...
He never saw how great you
No.
became.
No.
How has it affected you, do you think, as a father yourself? Has it determined the kind of father you wanted to be? The self-discipline that you have, you barely drink, you never smoked or taken drugs or any of those things. You've been very self-disciplined. Is that because actually part of you wants to show your kids that there's a different way?
Yeah, I wanna be a good father. I think I'm a good father. Nobody's perfect. I'm still in the process to learn. But I think I'm a good father. I took the example of my mom, my family, my father, and I want to be a good father, you know.
I've got to ask you about a difficult time in your life this year. It was, you've had this extraordinary career and life, and then you get hit by a serious story with lots of negative headlines. And a woman accuses you of rape, and it becomes Ronaldo, rape, and so on. As we sit here, the police have just recently dropped that investigation into you. There is no criminal investigation now. Tell me about your reaction to what has happened.
Well, I'm not going to forget that 2018 probably was the most difficult year of my life in terms of outside football. As you mentioned, that what they accused me was very, very hard. Media, press, writer. There are another parts that make me feel sad because they play with your dignity. It's hard. You have a girlfriend, you have a family, you have kids. It's bad, it's hard. I remember one day I was in home, in the living room with my girlfriend, to do a zap in television, to see the news, and they speak about Cristiano Ronaldo, this and that. And you listen your kids coming down in the stairs, and you change the channel because I was embarrassed. It's like, what is that? I feel embarrassed. I just changed the channel for Cristiano to don't see that they speak bad about his father. A very bad case makes me feel so bad, Pierce, to be honest. But outside my house, it's something that you cannot control.
One you'd most like to end up with as number one. Which record?
Golden balls, for example. The most golden balls in the history of football, for example. I will love it. And I think I deserve. As you mentioned before, Messi is he's a fantastic guy, he's a fantastic player. He's in the history of football. But I think I have to have 6 or 7 or 8.
You got to be
and
the
more
one.
above him, I think.
Is he the best you've played against in your life?
Yes, for sure.
What would you like your legacy to be, Cristiano? When it's all over?
Football?
Yeah, when it's finished, what would you like the legacy to be for Cristiano Ronaldo? How do you want people to remember you?
One of the best players in history.
One of or the best?
Depend of the taste of the people. I cannot control what the people like. Some people like this player or that player. I'm sure I'm in history of football, what I did and what I'm continue to do. But one of the best players in history. For me, the number 1 in history. But for some fans, the number 1. For the other ones, the second. Doesn't matter. I know I'm in history of football, one of the greatest ever.
When you die and you have your own tombstone and,
Okay.
and it says, here lies Cristiano Ronaldo, how would you like to be remembered as a man? You could write your own tombstone.
Number 1. Not number 7. Number 1.
You see, in the end, for you, it's all about being number 1, isn't it? That's really what drives you. You don't want to be second.
No.
You don't want to be third. You
I
want to
don't
be-
know this number. I don't know that number.
Cristiano, it's great to
Appreciate
meet
it.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.